Matrix is a system, Neo. That system is our enemy. When you're inside, you look around, what do you see? Businessmen, teachers, lawyers, carpenters, the very minds of the people we are trying to save. But until we do, these people are still a part of that system, and that makes them our enemy. You have to understand, most of these people are not ready to be unplugged. And many of them are so inert, so hopelessly dependent on the system, that they will fight to protect it.
G'day YouTube and everyone out there. So this rant's going to be the full explanation of what the Mandela effect is, with proven at the end of it, because I'm sick of all alternating theories just going into the nomad's land with ludicrous thoughts and perspectives of what the actual reality of the Mandela effect is. So the basic line is that we as a collective wouldn't wake up. We hadn't woken up for a long time. We would not use our Christ chakra. We did not learn about the consciousness or the Eastern teachings. We just thought, yeah, bugger that, that's just spiritual crap. But the reason why the Mandela effect has happened is 100% to show that everything itself is fake. Now, we know that consciousness makes the physical reality through the vibration frequencies, like I taught before, so I'll go into this for the new ones. You have your atom that is blank before receiving any kind of frequency of consciousness energy. Then you have the somatics, you have the Schumann or human resonant frequency that is the same as the human body as to the earth itself. You have the endocrine system energies, as well as the spiritual energy vortexes of the chakra points and the aura energy fields. These are all how consciousness manifests the physical reality through vibration. Nothing exists, like I explained before. So all these people that are tripping out that reality changed, reality doesn't even exist. So just get reality out of your fucking head. It doesn't even care about reality. Reality itself is just a construct, just like the movie fucking Matrix told you. See, like I taught before, everything that the Mandela effect is teaching is reverse duality and singularity to point to one, right? Like I pointed out before, depends become depend because it's one. Everything has become one. The Volvo sign is the male. The old Volvo sign that we all remember was the round circle with Volvo, which was the female. So now we have the Volvo sign sticking out the male symbol. So now you have the male and the female energies, which create one. All this is interpretation by the collective of the consciousness through singularities working in the manifestation of the matrix itself through the physical, trying to teach us that nothing itself is actually anything except for positive and negative energies that join together and then create the neutral energy that is the one consciousness of all and everything that is existence, which is the God. Consciousness energy creates everything. We are all a singularity of the consciousness. There's no one out there that is not a singularity of consciousness. We are all trying to experience everything at once. So the understanding of consciousness can be brought to consciousness, if you understand that. So the Mandela effect, it happened like that. So we had certain shifting particles back and forth, etc. like that, because consciousness energy is us and the particles themselves are made from consciousness energy. All you had to do was find the frequency of consciousness energy that was associated with the singularities which you needed to move the consciousness through. So all of us that have moved have been some kind of form of religious, spiritual, conspiracy, like I said before. But because of this awareness in our psyche and our own singularity of consciousness, we had a higher vibrational frequency to the rest of humanity at the time because we were becoming awakened. So the only way, what they had to do was search for the particle that would be to the right frequency of the right singularity frequency and then shift that into a multiple parallel dimension or bring something from the multiple parallel dimension, which everything works in synchronicity at that time anyway, because every multiple parallel dimension has a CERN firing up into it till it doesn't exist, and it has a D-wave firing up into it so it doesn't exist. But the reality of the whole construct of the Mandela effect is to understand that space and time and the existence of the physical reality is nothing more than an illusion. And this is what it's teaching you. It's teaching you duality to the Bible verses, duality to the car logos, duality to the movie references. Everything that has been the duality is the complete opposite to what it was before, to teach you that everything that is duality is one. That's the only understanding of the Mandela effect. There's nothing to get freaky of or anything like that. You know, it's not a scary thing. It's actually consciousness itself trying to awaken itself through the singularities inside of the actual game. So we can come to the understanding of we are quantum existence beings, that we forgot our way. We think we are physical meat bags that die and everything goes black. But the reality is that we are consciousness singularity energies that are infinite and quantum throughout all existence. And when we actually store memory and everything like that, it goes into the consciousness. This is the reason why we shifted from our physical avatar from the Sagittarius arm to the Orion spur, and we as still have our memories from the Sagittarius arm in the Orion spur's actual avatar with the anatomy changes. It's all because everything is the singularity of energy of everything is the consciousness energy of singularities, and that's us. And we are creating the Mandela effect. We needed the Mandela effect to happen because we lost our way of understanding. We don't use the Christ chakra like I explained. We are in the Antichrist because no one understands what the actual references mean. Everything is put into reverse. The whole of the Matrix has been in reverse. So now the Mandela effect is about to show you all that time and space itself is not what you always thought. Life is not what you always thought. Your brain is not what stores memory. Your heart is really your brain, etc. like this. This is all the understanding that is going to come from the Mandela effect. But the whole, what happened with the Mandela effect is, I'll explain it simple and shit. So, we have a parallel reality of Sagittarius arms, frequencies, manifestation of consciousness, okay? So, we existed in a mirror set. So there was infinite parallel realities to the Sagittarius arm where we come from. And Sagittarius arm is set to its own universe. So you have the Sagittarius arm in each universe, which is a different change of the original Sagittarius arm with slight manifestations to the physical or etc. like that, which changes through each mirror. So you have that. That is what your universes are of the Sagittarius arm inside of that one multiverse. So the next multiverse itself, right down to the universe inside of that multiverse, is the Orion Spurs frequency universe. So we have now the Orion Spurs frequency with all the infinite set of mirrors, etc., all the way back and forth. And now we have changed from one multiverse universe and jumped from that, out of that multiverse and been put into the next multiverse and into the starting original manifestation point of the Orion Spur frequency infinite mirrors. So that's all it is. The reason why you have merged reality is because the collective consciousness of ourselves, which are the Sagittarius arm frequency, we were at a different frequency of manifestation through consciousness, through the quantum, and because we sat at that frequency, we got moved into another collective of consciousness, and because consciousness itself as the collective manifests the physical reality, we have alternating frequencies of consciousness that we ourselves from Sagittarius arm are actually manifesting the residuals into the Orion Spur frequency of consciousness from our thought initiative programs and our memories from the Sagittarius arm. Without us have shifted, none of this stuff would be here. So this is what you have to understand. Everything is just the consciousness. So now we have merged consciousness collectives right throughout the quantum, not just now here and not just Sagittarius arm. Every single quantum reality that we existed in is now merged with the next reality that's next to it into it. So every collective is not at its original frequency. We have a duality once again to every single collective throughout the quantum. So this is the teachings of everything that the Mandela effect is trying to teach you. Not about bloody fucking brainwashing and all this other crap that's getting pulled out of the fucking asses of people, but it's all about the understanding of that we are quantum energy and we are singularities of self-aware consciousness of the one pure source of all creational consciousness, and through us we manifest the physical reality the way that we want, whether it be physical or through the thought initiative program, which we can do, but we've lost our way of doing, just like the Egyptians knew how to float stone in air by using their thought initiative program and opening up the consciousness energies, because you have to remember, when you understand that the construct is not real and nothing in the existence of physical is really real except for your avatar senses and all the fields around you that make it seem physically real to you, then anything is possible. The only reason that you don't believe it is possible is because of that word, believe, which you've been indoctrinated right through history and through your whole life to tell you that you cannot do the things that you wish you could. You cannot be superhuman. You cannot do any of this. But in reality, consciousness is telling you all the time through the collective that you can. We are lightning, we are fire, we are the sky, we are the ground, we are already everything. So what's the difference between that and us? Not a thing. It's only the understanding and belief system of what you actually think and then you believe that you know inside of the actual matrix construct that makes it like that. So this is the understanding of what the Mandela effect is. There's no freakiness to the Mandela effect. All it is God. God working through CERN, unfortunately, which is just the see, CERN and everything like this. This is another thing as well. All of these bad is being put into the good for the simple reason that we can't have a balanced pure and we can't have a balanced bad. It has to be so we're always in the middle and we sit in harmony. CERN is now, probably they tried to do something fucked up to us, no doubt. They actually tried to either kill us or make us all brainwashed so we thought we were in another parallel reality or something like that. And some did, some didn't and all that. But the thing is, because the system of the consciousness works in duality, the actual, the intent of what they wanted from us to shift us or kill us or whatever they planned did not work. Instead, the awakened become more awakened and we kept our collective conscious of the consciousness memory that we had. So now we can actually relay exactly of what is going on. We have been given a gift to teach people more about the actual reality of what everything is in the physical world. There is no physical fucking world. There is no space. There is no bloody planets. There is nothing like this. This is all a program system from inside of the matrix. That is all of it is. And the Mandela effect has been brought towards us and showing us that in our life that everything can change within a blink of an eye because everything itself is fake. Thanks. G'day YouTube and everyone out there. Alright, so I'll do a brief explanation of how I explain that there's no judgment and what you see inside the matrix you can't judge, okay? So I have a lot of people out there that find this hard to grasp with because everyone's taught by indoctrination standards in their life that everything that you do in your life has to be done always for the good. But in reality of it, when you understand that everything itself is a electromagnetic energy that's fucking created by the one pure source of creational consciousness energy, then nothing itself in the physical really does exist. Nothing that you see or hear about or experience really does exist. It's only a interpretation of an energy frequency that us as lives actually use our own algorithm as we're a part of a computer that actually helps the one full pure source of creational consciousness of each collective quantum collective of each of our own consciousness that actually combines and makes everything work in systematic fucking order just right throughout all the whole quantum realities, etc. like that. So you got to realize that when you hear about murder, when you see the Illuminati blow up something, when you hear the fear tactics put into the Matrix, it's exactly that, because in reality, you don't really exist yourself, and nothing that you can see really exists yourself. As hard as the terms of that is to come with, everything that you see is only a trick by your conscious and your subconscious energy, that you don't really exist whatsoever in physical. It's like your spiritual anatomy itself is in a constant dream state of awareness that you can experience, that you go to sleep in this physical reality as a sign from consciousness of what reality is really all about. So when you go to sleep at night, you are 100% in your dream. You're the only person that's the player in the dream, and everything else is creation by your subconscious mind in that state at the time that allows the DMT release, etc. like that, for you to actually experience being a creator. Now, being a creator is exactly what you do when you dream. That is creation. What we do in the physical is labor, work, manifestation of the indoctrination terms of who we should be and what we are as physical, and removing the spiritual side from the understanding of the full collective consciousness of order of control. That's the whole systematic understandings of how the matrix functions at the moment, and we're now leaving that term anyway. But so, like I explained, when you dream, you are being told a message from consciousness right there that, hey, this is what you can do. You seem real, you seem physical. Even when you get shot, you get stabbed, you fuck, you do whatever in your dream and shit, you have that as a physical experience for your conscious energy only, and then you come back to this reality, which is only a permanent, insistent dream of the spirit that allows you to keep believing that you wake up into the physical, but the physical itself doesn't really exist, like I explained. So now that you can get the grasp of really seeing what everything is, then you can understand that there is no fucking rape, murder, kill, fucking whatever, stealing, whatever, because nothing of physical really does exist. The physical is nothing more than Satan. Everything physical is Satan. It is the trick. It is the Satan is the deceiver, the one that says, you are the physical, you are not spiritual. So the physical has constantly been trying to indoctrinate you to bring you into the matrix only and make you believe that the only thing that can exist is the physical, when in reality everything that does exist is the spiritual. This is the war between heaven and hell and all stuff like that. It's always the physical and the spiritual fighting each other for information or understanding to be fed into the one full collective consciousness. And this is what we're experiencing right now. We're having a war right now after the Mandela effect of spirit versus physical, and the physical is changing because spirit is absolutely manipulating the physical to allow us to go back to spirit. We are remembering, like I said last time, who we are again, and we're coming to the terms and grasp of, hey, we don't really fucking exist. There's no possible way that we could have jumped that parallel reality and still have a change in avatar, but yet we still have the same collective conscious memories of what we did of our past experience of the past matrix design of the Sagittarius reality. So then you understand, like what I'm saying. Now you get the idea, right? So you are a signature of energy. Now you're just a signature energy of a fucking beam. That's about it and shit. And in reality, nothing does exist except for energy, but the constant relay of the energy is that we're self-aware, and that we can experience what we experience through just being energy. And this is the hardest part for everyone to grasp. So anyway, so now that we understand that that's what it is, so now you can understand that the construct is just that, a fucking construct. It's not, oh shit, that just got blown up, oh, they're doing fucking bad. Who really gives a fuck at the end of the day? Because you don't know whether or not they're construct, you don't know if they're a player themselves that were actually the ones that experienced what was happened. Like I explained before, there's a lot of NPCs, which are just background drops in order for the one consciousness collective to understand and get to the wake up of, hey, this is all fake, false flags, etc., 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 like that. So then you got to understand that, well, if there's nothing that can happen that's good or bad inside of nothing that really does exist, then therefore judgment cannot exist, because judgment is only an indoctrination term from inside of the matrix that we're actually brought up with that says there's a good and a bad. When you realize there's not a good and a bad, and it's just a neutral, and it basically is a dream that the whole collective consciousness on a subconscious level creates by putting their own thought initiative programs into the collective and waiting for the majority of the overriding collective conscious thought initiative program to manifest into the physical, then we can understand exactly what goes on, and we can actually push the reality towards the direction of what we really do want to actually manifest into the reality. Because at the moment we are being tricked and manipulated by sources that do understand exactly what this is. They understand that they use different kinds of influences to push our thought initiative programs in that one direction. But at the end of the day, this is only consciousness itself constantly doing a fight inside to show that we should be fighting, that this is a game, as hard as that is to fucking understand. This is actual game. There is supposed to be a bad side, there is supposed to be a good side. The only thing is that back in the old school, we used to fucking hack each other and do stuff like that, and now we look at this modern day society saying, well, they must have been fucking barbarians and stuff like that. See, that's the indoctrination terms of trying to hide the reality of the simulation was a game, once again, for the soul or the spirit to come in, run amok, do it the once, and then jet back out. But in reality, you at the moment have been awakened to the truth of what you really are once again, and that's the spirit, and that we always have been the spirit, but the physical has overlaid the indoctrination standing of what we could understand of who we really are. And there was always the messages left inside of the full collective, you know, like spirituality, and then it would show you different things here and there. You get your little deja vus and you get your little synchronicities without understanding exactly what it really was, but no one could understand exactly that it was God relaying that message constantly. And since the Mandela effect, that has sped up dramatically. The whole Mandela effect, subjects actually experiencing synchronicities left, right, and center. Our energy fields of ourselves, of our resonating energy that you can project from yourself has become a lot more immense and a lot more stronger. You can actually feel the abilities that you're actually born with, or if you rejected, you actually begin to feel them now. You've got a full sense of awareness of how and what reality really is, away from the indoctrination understanding of we're a fucking rock floating in a fucking bit of fucking void, and then we fucking twirl at whatever fucking billion miles and shit, or whatever the fuck it is, eh? But yeah, I know it is, but I'm just making an example and shit. But so now that we've got the terms, nothing does exist. There is no good and bad. Holding judgment for something inside the matrix keeps you away from understanding that the only way to reach back to God is to see God as unconditional, with unconditional love, as everything in divine is created in its perfect. There's nothing imperfect in the divine. And for anything to be called imperfect of God's design, you don't understand God, because God works in mysterious ways like we've always been told. God is a prick and God is good. It likes to do stupid shit because it likes to fuck with us. It's just exactly like they said in the old school, why does God do such bad things to good people? Because there's the negative and then there's the positive. It's just that understanding of where we were going to be, that we were supposed to be this pure fucking race and shit that was all about good, and there was a bad influence all the time that made us do different things, is fucking bullshit. All it is to keep you away from the understanding of that there's energy and that's all it ever was. Well, the understanding back then was all energy, but we took the stories into a literal meaning and then we misinterpreted the true understanding of what was really there. Yeah, there's my little understanding of my rant. I'm trying to explain to you is how everything right now is actually nothing but nothing. So everything that you see doesn't exist. Everything you feel is nothing but a frequency of energy, which you are nothing but a current of that energy, and your whole life from when you start to be born, you are just one algorithm of the whole system, and together we create what is actually manifested into this physical reality through our own thought initiative programs of the full collective subconscious. Cheers. I'd leave it with a little bit more, actually. So why do you think that each area and each place throughout the whole world has a government that governs over you? They know that it's a simulation for a long time. They are the governor. They are the program file, and we are the system files. They program the system files to project the thought initiative manifestation into the whole collective consciousness of the desire of the outcome of what they're wanting. But in reality, it is the one collective consciousness showing us all the time how it works. Cheers.